Okay. So last video was a pretty big pill to swallow. But you, the proud infantry soldier that you are, still want to kill these things with ease. I get it. And honestly, I have to respect the stubbornness. Sometimes you just can't rely on your teammates. Maybe they don't see the threat. Maybe they're busy somewhere else. Maybe they simply don't care about the tank that's been farming your entire team. So how do you point out enemy vehicles while also destroying them in a way that actually impacts the battlefield? One RPG isn't going to cut it, and mini-tanking isn't always an option. Well, lucky for you, I found a way. I call it camera killing. To start camera killing, you'll need to play Recon and equip the SOFLAM. This little beauty is going to become your remote camera and laser designator, helping you destroy enemy vehicles from a safe distance. To quickly go over the SOFLAM, it's basically a deployable PLD. You can mount it on almost any surface, giving your team remote laser designation support without needing to stand there yourself. Once you've spawned in, don't head straight for an objective. Grab a scout vehicle and drive to a location that overlooks as much of the battlefield as possible. A mountain, a hill, the roof of a building, anything with a commanding view. Or, if you already know where enemy armor likes to travel, head there instead. Main roads, alleyways, bridges, anywhere vehicles naturally funnel through. Once you've found your spot, deploy the SOFLAM. Then point it toward the sky. Here's why. The SOFLAM constantly projects a bright red glow in whatever direction it's facing. That glow can't be turned off, and it makes the device much easier to spot. By aiming it at the sky, or another direction away from enemy sightlines, you dramatically reduce the chance of someone noticing it. Personally, I sometimes point it back toward my own side of the map just to make it even harder to find. Once your SOFLAM is in position, jump back into your scout vehicle and head toward the nearest, or most strategically useful, tow launcher. Now the fun begins. Remote into your SOFLAM and start marking enemy vehicles with its built-in laser designator. Once the target is painted, it'll receive what I like to call the blood diamond. The moment that diamond appears, quickly switch over to the tow launcher, lock onto the target, and keep firing until the lock breaks. Every tow launcher works the same regardless of faction, and against laser-designated targets, they become incredibly dangerous. You're getting guidance, increased reliability, and heavy damage. Very similar to a javelin, except you're the one steering the fight. One of the biggest advantages of this setup is that your SOFLAM is nowhere near you. If the enemy figures out where the laser is coming from and destroys it, that's fine. You're sitting safely at the tow launcher. You can continue fighting normally, resupply another SOFLAM, or simply relocate and deploy a new one somewhere else. And here's my absolute favorite part. Against jets. If a tow missile is launched while a jet is actively laser designated, pilots using ECM jammers have a much harder time defeating the incoming missile. If you fire before the lock breaks, there's a very good chance that jet is simply gone. And because the SOFLAM has such incredible range, you can place it high up, point it into the sky, and effectively become one of the strongest anti-air assets on the entire battlefield. Those ace pilots that have been bullying your team all round, suddenly they're the ones being hunted. Clipping a bird's wings has never felt so satisfying. Trust me, I speak from experience. Thank you so much for watching, and always remember, observation precedes domination.
Enemy boat spotted.